Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos, and if you find yourself inspired, join my channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So, hi everyone. Today I would like to show you how to do a basic tatted ring in 2 different ways. I have shuttle tatting as well as needle tatting as something that I have worked hard to try to learn how to do. And I'm really eager to share it with you guys. Okay, so let's take a look and see how to do it. Hold on for a moment. Okay guys, so here we are. We have our shuttle. I have taken the time to go ahead and wind the shuttle, and I've wound it so that when I remove it, it's going to go away from me and towards the middle. Okay, so that means that if I wound it and it's facing me this way, then I wound it clockwise. Facing up, then you wind it clockwise so that when you're removing it counterclockwise, if that makes any sense. Okay. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the shuttle and you're going to hold it in your dominant hand, whichever hand that is for you. Okay. Hold it in your dominant hand and have the point of it facing towards your middle. Okay. Towards your non-dominant hand. Okay. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to loosen and give myself an end here. How much you give yourself doesn't really matter for this project because we're really just practicing, and we are going to make something that maybe can be an embellishment. Okay. All right. So now I have given myself, quite a bit here. I'll give myself a little more. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to pinch it with my non-dominant hand, with my forefinger and my thumb. And then I'm going to take the cord or the thread and wrap it around the outside of my hand and then back around. Okay. That's all I've done is just wrap it, nothing else, and just caught it with my hand. All right. So now I'm going to spread my hands out a little bit as if I am giving myself room to go in here, because this is the area that you need to work in. Okay. So all I did was wrap it around outer, brought it back around, and I have it held. That's it. Okay. So now you want to give yourself a little bit of space with your shuttle because you need to work with this yarn here or this thread here. Okay. So now you're going to hold the shuttle again with your forefinger and your thumb, and you're going to use your hand to gather the cord. All right. So what I'm going to do with a sweeping motion, I'm going to allow the shuttle to go with the thread in front of my hand and then behind my hand and around. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So in front of my hand and behind my hand and around. All right. So it's coming up this way. So now I have this space here and I want to work within that space. So I'm going to take the shuttle and I'm going to put it in the middle of that space. All right. And then I'm going to go all the way through, and then I'm going to go around it and up. And you see the loop that I made on my hand now that's gone around it. Now I'm going to bring the shuttle through all of that. Okay. All right. So now I have a loop here, and the loop is made from this that I just made going around and over. Okay. But I want this loop to be transferred. So what I have to do now is give myself a little bit of give here and pull here so that I can transfer that loop, now it'll slide, okay? Now I'm going to slide it, and I'm going to bring it so that I can hold it and keep it there, all right? That's the first half of a double stitch, all right? So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to undo it, and I'll do it again. Okay. So now I'm going to take my thread, holding it, forefinger and thumb, forefinger and thumb. Dominant hand has your shuttle, okay? You're going to wrap it around the outer part of your hand and catch it again with the forefinger and the thumb and give yourself space, okay? With your shuttle, you're going to take it, give yourself space. You're going to wrap it around the front of your hand, back of your hand, and then you're going to take the shuttle and you're going to put it in the loop that's made with your other hand all the way through and over and through the loop made, okay? Once you've done that, you give yourself a little bit of slack with the non-dominant hand, you pull with the shuttle, and now you should have transferred the loop so that now it should slide. And you just slide it to your hand where you can hold on to it, all right? That's the first half of the double stitch. Now, if it doesn't slide, you need to stop and undo it, because if it doesn't slide, then you actually made a complete knot and you won't be able to continue to do your tatting. All right, now the second half is a little easier than the first, because all you're going to do is you're going to take your shuttle and you're going to go over that loop there that's made with your hand and bring it under that top loop and out. Okay, that's all you did. Now you're going to loosen your hand again, pull on this, and slide it. Now you should be able to see here that I made a double stitch, okay? Now I'm going to check, and if it slides, if I can slide it back and forth, then I did it correctly, okay? So that's one double stitch that we just made. I'm going to make another. I'm going to grab the thread around my hand. I'm going to go in the middle, okay, in the middle, all the way, and bring my shuttle up, around, and through. Give myself some slack, pull on the shuttle, and slide it over, okay? That's the first half. Second half is just taking it and going over, under, and through. Pull on it, give yourself slack, and slide. 2 double stitches, all right? And I can slide it. Okay, so you can always check. If you just pull on this lower thread here, it should slide. Okay, we're not doing anything with the end. Okay, it's just kind of hanging there. And sometimes that can kind of get on your nerves, but you have to learn to not be bothered by it. Okay, and it's just kind of hanging there. Okay, but we're working with this. And so all of our stitches with the shuttle tatting are made on the loops and the chains that you create. So you don't have to transfer them at all. Okay, so now let's do it again. We've made 2. Go around, go in, go over and through. Give yourself slack, pull on the shuttle, and slide it over. That's the first half. Let's do the second half. I'm just going to take your shuttle, go over, under, and through. Pull on the shuttle, slack, and slide it over. That's 3 double stitches. All right. Now you're going to run out of space because the stitches are being made actually by the yarn that's the loop that's on here when you transfer it, which means you have to figure out, because this is going to get smaller and smaller. So all you do is you pull on this back portion here. All right. If you pull on the back portion, you have more space. All right. And then you just loosen up so that you have more here. So if you wind your bobbin on your shuttle well, then you should have plenty for most of the projects that we'll start out with, okay? So let's do another. We have 3. Wrap around, go under and over and through, relax, pull, slide. Part 2, just go over, under, and through, relax, pull, and slide. All right, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it in more of a fluid motion, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing, okay? And that's how you do double stitch, okay? So now let's count and see what we have. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I want to do just a few more. So I'm going to do at least 10 more, okay? Okay, I've done 10, and now I'm going to show you how to close it. Okay, so I like to hold on to my stitches, all right? So I take my hand where the loop is, I take it out, okay? And I'm just going to hold my hand where my end stitches are, here, okay? Which is where I would make my next stitch. So now all I'm going to do is just pull on the shuttle. And when you pull on the shuttle, in doing that, then this loop here is going to get smaller and smaller, okay? So watch it. You see it getting smaller and smaller? And I hold on to the end because I don't want it to knot, and I want to make sure that all of my double stitches stay. So I just keep pulling on it and keep pulling on it and keep pulling on it, okay? Okay, so now we have a tatted ring. All right, this is just a plain ring, but it is important to practice to make sure that you can do them. So let's take a look at how to do a tatted ring using a needle. All right, give me a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. For this one, I'm going to use size 10 crochet cotton, and I have a size 5 tatting needle, okay? So all we're going to do here is go ahead and thread our needle. And we won't really need a whole lot because we're just making a small ring, okay? So for this one, I'm not going to have a long tail because I just want to make a ring. So I'm just going to give myself maybe about 12 inches for this one, okay? And then for the forward portion, our tatting is going to go on the needle from the eye of the needle towards the tip of the needle, okay? So now what you want to do with that is you want to hold on to your needle with the tail portion towards your small finger and the point going towards your thumb. All right. And then in the other hand, you're just going to kind of cradle the thread. All right. So I like to kind of put some of my thread close so that I can control the very first stitch. And once I'm done with that, I don't have to hold it anymore. Okay. So you're going to cradle the thread in your dominant hand and you're going to tat with your dominant hand. Okay. Whichever hand that is for you. Your non-dominant hand should have your needle in it. Okay. All right. So you're going to use your forefinger a lot with this technique. And with this technique, it again is a double stitch. So all you need to do is follow the first half and the second half. Okay. So the first half of this double stitch is to grab the yarn, bring your needle over, and then pick up this inner loop here. And then you're just going to slide it on over to your finger so you can hold it. That's the first half. All right, so let me do that again. Hold your needle and your thread. Cradle your thread. Wrap around towards the outside. Bring your needle over and then just pick up this inner loop here, the inner loop, okay? And then slide it over. That's the first half of the double stitch. Now we're going to do the second half. The second half, you're going to wrap it around. Instead of wrapping it around the front, you're going to wrap it around the back. And then you're going to bend and you're going to pick it up backwards, okay? And then you're going to slide that over. All right, so now if you can see closely, that is a double stitch. Okay, so let's try that again. First half, pick it up, slide it over. Second half, pick it up from the back. All right, that's 2. Slide it over. Second half, pick it up from the back. That's 3. Slide over. Pick it up from the back. Okay, so I have 4. I'm going to do another one. That's 5. I'm going to keep going until I have 20. Okay. All right, so this should be 20. I'm going to count them. Okay, so I have 21, and for this purpose, it's okay. But if you wanted to know, oh gosh, what would happen if I added extra? All you have to do for this is to just slide it over. And you should be able to see the 2 parts of your stitch. You just slide it over and slide it off is what you do. Just like that. Okay. So now I have my 20. Okay. All right. So now the next step you do here in order to get a ring is you give yourself a little bit of space. And what I do is I try to make sure that the end of my thread is just a little bit above the bend that is made when it is in half, okay? And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure that I don't, by mistake, pull all of this, because in order to make a ring, we need this loop here, okay? So now we're going to just take and we're going to hold on to our stitches, okay? So we're going to hold on to our stitches and we're going to slide it off the back of the needle. Just slide those stitches off and onto that tail, okay? Now, if you see here, this is my tail, and I'm just basically just bringing it through, okay? So all I'm doing is just pulling on this. Now, you want to make sure you don't pull too tightly because you need this loop, all right? So I'm going to pull a little bit more, but I want you to be able to see the loop. All right, so now hopefully you can see that, and you can see these two here. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to just catch the loop with the needle. Okay, now that I have that, this is my loop that I have created. So I'm going to pull on this portion here, and we should see this loop disappear. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so it just disappeared. Now I'm going to go back to where my needle is, and now I'm going to pull on that to tighten my loop. And you should see it tighten. Did you see that? Okay, so that's my ring. Now, because of the way we made this, we have to put a knot in it. Otherwise, it can become loose. So I'm going to turn my work over. And I'm going to take my needle. I'm going to wrap it around the thread that is attached to my cone or ball. And I'm simply going to make a knot. And that's how you make a tatted ring with a needle. So I hope this was helpful. I would love it if you guys would just do some practice with making rings. Like this, and hopefully it will just help you to get more practice. All right, I'm going to come back with another video very soon and we can practice some more things, but for now just practice the rings. Okay, all right, thank you so much. I am back. So what did you guys think? I hope you guys are getting excited, and it's wonderful to be able to make something in a different way, right? So we just showed you how to make a ring with a tatting shuttle and a ring with a tatted needle. All right, that is great. Now, these are small. And again, just think about it for right now. We're learning how to do it with making lace, but there are so many applications that you can do with this. So please stay tuned, okay? I do have more for you, and I'm really excited. So let's get started learning how to make rings. All right, so that's just a short little mini tutorial that I wanted to show you guys just to get you started. All right, the technique does take a little work because it's a little awkward at first, but you know what? Keep practicing, you will get the hang of it. All right, so that's all I have for this portion. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mystery stitch markers. All right, I still have remaining mystery stitch markers, and again, it's still spring, so I am really excited to be able to show them to you. These stitch markers came as a purchase that I made from Ellie over at Ellie Labels Crafts and More, and I love the mystery. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I love being able to share these things with you guys. Okay, so I believe we are up to number 13 today. All right, so let's grab the next one and let's take a look. All right, guys. So this is number 13, and it is beautiful with a beautiful flower sticker. All right. Let's see what's inside. I'm excited. Another beautiful butterfly. This one is just awesome. And she has it accented and embellished with beautiful gold attachments. And this one has a lever back. Okay, but it's beautiful. I love the colors of the butterfly, and I love the backing as well. All right, thank you so much, Ellie. Beautiful stitch markers, and I think everybody's enjoying them just as much as I'm enjoying them. All right. Okay, guys. So let's take a look at the puzzle solution for the last video that included a puzzle. And this is what I came up with. And this is the puzzle for today. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching the videos, for giving me a thumbs up, for leaving me a comment. I hope that getting started with a little bit slower pace will help you guys. I am going to be doing a little bit of this at a time because I do want to get you to the point where you can actually make an item with it. But it really does require quite a bit of practice first. And so I thought maybe just showing a little bit of it first would help out. All right. So really exciting. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the beginning part of the tatting. All right. So where did I get the inspiration from? So I had a book called Learn How, and I've had that book for many, many years. I used it to learn how to do some of the things that I couldn't pick up elsewhere. But the tatting portion, I never really caught on to the instructions that were in the book because the movement to try to transfer the loops, I couldn't get it. But I was given a challenge by one of my students here locally, and she said she wanted to learn how to tat. And it was on her bucket list, and she asked me to learn how to tat so I could teach her. And I thought, wow, okay. But I took on the challenge because I just love learning how to do quite a few things. So now I have this challenge and I have to figure out how to learn how to tat so I can teach her. So I searched a bunch of books to see if I could understand it. I purchased a needle tatting book and kit online. Also purchased this beautiful My First Tatting kit here. I purchased this one. And then I thought, okay, I have to figure this out. And I purchased also a video course on Craftsy, and that was taught by Marilee Rocklee. And so she taught how to do shuttle tatting. So I kind of practiced and practiced and practiced and tried to get that technique. But shuttle tatting is a little more challenging to learn how to do. And so for her, she has arthritis. My friend has arthritis. And I wasn't sure that the shuttle tatting would be something she could do. So instead, I looked online to learn how to do the needle tatting. And that's what I ultimately ended up doing. So the needle tatters that I was able to get inspired and excited and draw from were Marcelle over at One Virtuous Woman, or OVW. She has beautiful patterns and she teaches you step by step, and it was easy to follow. And I got needle tatting and I thought, okay, yes, I can do this. And I think I can teach her how to do it as well. And I even made her beautiful bracelet, and I turned it into a choker, and it was a wonderful gift for someone for their bridal shower. It's just a beautiful pattern. So if you haven't checked it out, I will try to see if I can link it in the description section of this video, and perhaps also link it at the end. Okay. And then in addition to Marcelle, I also learned from Maria Papia, and I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. But if not, please count it to my head and not my heart, okay? But I learned how to do some needle tatting from her. She also has very beautiful patterns, and her tutorials are also very easy to follow. And then last but not least, I learned from Rustic Kate, and she does a combination. She does both needle tatting and shuttle tatting. So I was able to kind of draw from all of them in order to learn how to tat. Now, I am not an expert by any means. I am still learning. And so some of my technique might not necessarily be what others are, but again, I'm still learning. And I think it's wonderful to learn how to just do something different and to do something that's not necessarily brand new, but something that's old, that maybe we can bring something new with it. Okay. So, yes, that was my inspiration. And please check out all of those channels that I mentioned to you. And as we go along, I will show you some of the things that I've made and some of the patterns that I've kind of come up with, on my own by learning some of the techniques. Okay. So, yes, that's all I have for today. I want each and every one of you to be mindful, to do everything you can to be at your best health. And by all means, guys, be crafty every day. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video or in one of yours. Take care now. Bye-bye.